One of the questions that often comes around when someone's interested on propagating fig trees is how can you do that? And that's definitely a very good question. I'll try to answer it from the information that I have here. Basically, a fig tree can be actually propagated by taking a cutting from a fig tree. And from this, you can actually have a new tree grow, which will keep obviously the same characteristics as from the tree that it was taken from. In this case, what you can do here, there are several ways to approach to the propagation of a fig tree. Someone could actually go and take a cutting directly from a fig tree and plant it directly into the soil immediately, and from there it could grow. Usually you could do this around early spring or during the fall. Obviously, you have to take into consideration the climate or the weather, which is or the season, the growing season for that, which is very important because you're not going to plant this in, let's say, in northern Canada in October, where it's starting to be fairly cold, because it will die. In this case, what we usually do here, in my case, what I do and others do here, you take actually a cutting from a fig tree. You will store it in the fridge until you decide to propagate it. So usually, you'll pick it up in the fall, and you leave it in the fridge, and perhaps you'll start in January, or even wait until spring. Or you could, you could actually start directly in spring by taking a cutting from a fig tree. In this case here, so what I did is take obviously those cuttings a few months ago, was I think in September. They've been stored since then in the fridge, and I just took them out now, and it's January now, the start of the season for the propagation of these cuttings. So what you can do with this, there's two ways to do it, what I usually do. One is actually I take a pot, put soil into it, and put the cuttings directly into the pot and start it from there. And it'll grow or not, you'll see, depending on the chances. Usually, if it's well taken care of, you'll have about 70% of chances that it will be all fine. That's in my opinion, of course, because there's different approaches to it. The other way, which we're going to be doing here today, is actually you take the cuttings here. You take a paper towel, you have some water here, and you have some bags. Well, in this case, you have a bag here. It could be a Ziploc bag just to make it easier for you, but in this case, I actually went to a store and asked them if they could give me a bag here. So compliments of a local store here in Montreal. And now what we're going to do here, it's very simple. You take the pot, you got paper here, you wrap it around, well, this way here. Take the water and do a bit of this. Obviously, you could actually insert it into the bag first and do it once it's in the bag. So let's take a bag here, put it inside. And then all you need to do is actually just spray it until it attains the desired moisture level. But you have to be careful here, basically, because you don't want to overwater it. Obviously, don't put too much water, so it's not too damp. And also, every few days you should actually open it up so that there's a change of air. In my case, I usually do it every day, and so the change of air, have a look at it. And I usually keep it at a temperature of 20 Celsius degrees. And that, for me, is basically the optimal temperature, in my opinion. Obviously, there's other ways to do it, as others will probably suggest. And that's pretty much it. You just put it in a warm area, you check it oftenly to make sure everything is fine here. And then you're pretty much, you just observe the cuttings until there's basically roots that will start forming here. And then at that stage, you'll be able to actually take this after a few weeks, depending, really, there's no specific time frame that this is going to work out. Obviously, there's also a failure potential that it will actually just start molding, or that nothing will happen. Let's hope actually here for the best. And that's pretty much it. If you have any suggestions, comments, just contact me. Otherwise, I would also suggest you definitely have a look around the internet, because there's other options. And in this case, this is what I'm doing here. And that's pretty much it. All right.